Okay. So we are live. I know it's been long I did this, so I'll try and I don't think I'm going to stay very long on this chat. Hold on. Okay, so um, my usual drink. This is my brand. So hold on. Okay, so that is set aside. Meanwhile, okay, this came from I. Someone gave me a gift. That's the CEO of Mastermind by name Mr. Chukuma. So you can see. So he gave me this gift. When was it? Last week. So I just want to thank him publicly. I really appreciate. So yeah, you can always do the same. Want me to be having good time. Yeah, Guinness Stout. That's my brand. So you can always do that. Yeah, contact me via WhatsApp or something, then we'll arrange for that. So I appreciate those that have done that in the past and say have intention to do that. Okay, so the purpose of this live stream is about engine. I've had a few experiences to say um, about a year now. It's not like the one I experienced last week, 2 weeks ago or so, but I know for about 12 months now, 12 months now, I'm beginning to, shift away. Even though it has already been my belief, but then, one thing about reality sometimes you feel like, oh, what's the point? Let's go the softer way, the easier way. But most times, those easier way is because of affordability. Now, the engines at a point in Nigeria became very cheap. Maybe in future it might come back, but I could say uh, from 2010, 2011 or so, used engines, at least for Peugeot, I don't know about other brands, became very, very cheap. I hope you guys can hear me. So it became cheap to the point that, when people engine becomes weak, they don't really bother about rebuild. They just go ahead and replace. I mean, engines were that cheap. I could remember 2013. In 2013, when I purchased my 406 V6 manual, that time the fully used engine, what we regarded as Tokumbo engine, um, for that vehicle, which is the ES9J4, the complete. What I mean, engine, complete engine. I'm talking about the engine itself and then those accessories. So it was about 80,000, 90,000 naira, just within that range. It wasn't up to 100,000. So um, you could say it was easier to just buy the engine and swap in another one when you have a weak engine. So it was basically everyone was doing the same. In fact, at a point, I could remember a few persons were saying that there was no point replacing their timing belts of their interference engines because the engines were that cheap. So why bother replacing the engine? No, replacing the timing belt when the engines are so cheap. So even if the timing belt breaks, or the auxiliary belt breaks and damage the cylinder head valves. I mean, all you could do is just bring out some chicken change in your savings, maybe not even your savings, maybe in your wallet, pull it out and another used good engine will be swapping and continue. So yeah, I know a few people that made that comment. You know, so there was no point buying timing belts. That in fact at the point they were saying the cost of buying the complete kit timing belt if you want to go that route costs more than the engine. So why even bother? Just keep using the engine. If it fails, if any of the belts breaks and damage the engine, hey, it's cheaper to replace the engine. So but now, wow, no, the situation have changed, you know. So, um, so it made me to um rewind back. But like I said, I always have this belief, but it made me to change my preaching, you know. Um, about 5 times now, I've seen where people purchased these used engines. I'm talking about within a space of 12 months. Like I could say, like maybe November or December last year, or I could say January this year, 2023 to date. So I could see, I know about 5 persons that replace engines, and the ones I was even involved. And engines, some of them, among these five, I could say about two of them right there. About two of them right there. Okay, I would say immediately, but I could say a day or two later started showing sign of not just weakness, but condition that you could say that worse than even or close to, or if not the same, of the one that we are replaced. So that's how um, those conditions were. Not the condition, the situations were. So I was like, all these used engines we are buying, it seems they have already purchased off all the good ones. So what they are now sending are just maybe the one that the previous owner of the cars have used the vehicle, wrecked them. So the good ones have actually been scrapped and shipped, the parts shipped to Nigeria. So most of the whatever you find could be the ones that are good enough that I'm talking about the cars probably that are still in Europe, talking about cars produced in the 90s, early 2000 and the rest. Probably the ones that owners wouldn't want to give up on. So the ones probably they are scrapping now are the ones that are actually dead. So the engines we are now seeing is most likely you might end up with among those dead ones that we are scrapped and shipped to Africa and other so-called developing countries. Actually, it's not a lie anyway. So I'm not saying that like same economically same place with some of these countries in the West. So so I've I've been in a situation where engine not just right there because it's easier for you to say okay you mounted an engine, you remove the old one, mount an engine, and right there immediately start showing sign of weakness or even worse condition than the one you removed. Yeah, of course it will be assumed that engine is not good, so you remove it. But I'm talking about case where you mount the engine, starts and run well. Yeah, it might be, normally when you start an engine, a used engine that has been sitting for however how long, you probably don't even know, months, years, and you start the engine, it's expected that it will be noisy for a while because at that time, you remember oil most times have drained out of the engine, so engine will be starved of lubrication or oil. So all those some of the components this thing we run friction by friction. It take a little bit before oil will penetrate and go to some of these places, the bearings and the rest. So what will now happen is you end up So you end up having noisy engine that first few minutes. Sometimes it will take about 30 minutes or 1 hour for the engine to actually become quiet, or the normal sound to come back. So that's not what I'm talking about. So what I'm talking about is like the one you do a day, 2 days later, or maybe about 3 hours later, the noise continues, or even worse. In fact, there was one I could I wasn't really involved, but then I was there when the engine was mounted. Wasn't I wasn't the one doing the job. So I was there when the engine was mounted. Started. It was behaving as if the coils, ignition coils were all bad. It was just vibrating, doing everything. So there was not. It took them 2 days. They kept doing changing spark plug, doing this. At the point they said, "Oh, it could be the valves. It could be this and that." It took some attempts, some few trying to make a repair until they now realized that the engine was actually very bad. This was a used engine they purchased at high price. So I've also, like I said, among these five that I mentioned, I've had a counter about three that was directly involved and had similar experience. So I'm now beginning to realize that it just doesn't see. I've been preaching this. So like I said, this is not the first time. You can actually engines wears out over time. But you can't stop it from happening, you know. But you can actually stop it from breaking down if you are paying enough attention. And in that case, you will spend much less when you notice that something engine needs some overhaul. You don't need to wait for you to start smoking badly to know that you need to deal with the oil burn. You could start, maybe you're using the car, you start to notice oil shortage, but you're not necessarily seeing the smoke. But of course, if you push the car hard, push the engine very hard, yeah, it most likely will smoke. It will smoke as long as it's not leaking. There's no leakage, but you could see that the engine, the oil level drops lower than it should, given certain mileage or kilometers driven. So in that case, it's easier to just remove the cylinder head. Most times you drop the engine down, change the valve stem cells, change the rings. Because at that stage, you most times find out that the rings are, the pacings are okay, just the rings. You can expect it when you remove it. Most times you end up, if you can't afford it, get both the rings and the pistons. But like I said, if you can get, if you catch it on time, if you stop the from engine from deteriorating that bad on time, you end up changing only the rings, not with the pistons, the valve themselves. You solve your problem. Or maybe you are getting like oil, what's it called? Insufficient oil pressure, this and that, oil warning light. You pull it out, it might not necessarily be your oil pump, it could be your bearing. It might not be making noise. The bearing might not be making noise at that time, but it probably has worn, probably for one reason or the other. Maybe there was a time you used bad oil, or your oil drained or burned out. You didn't, for whatever reason. You open and check your crankshaft bearing, see the cornrod one, the main bearing. You check all those things. You can change them. There is easily available new one that are not even expensive. Guess what? You put back your engine. I mean, so my point is, I even have more confidence with the current engine I have than what they have in the market now. That's the truth. So, I'll, the last one I did, I worked with someone on that, and is THP engine, EPCs, and basically the engine was condemned. You know, And they're like, it wasn't my position that the engine must be replaced for the car to work. But then I was like, repairs is might be the easier solution, but then um, might not be the only or the best solution, because I know how EPC's engine work. Because one thing about EPC's engine, I'm talking about THP engines, VTI engines, these engines, most time when you buy them used, you still have to open them up. The technicians who are watching the video no understand what I mean. You still have to open them up. You see the cylinder head, they are this thing when you buy a used one, it doesn't matter how new it looks or clean it looks, you have to open up that engine, remove the cylinder head, change the valve sensor and close it back. So in that case, you'll be wondering, I mean, you could have done something you could have just do on your old one, unless there is a severe mechanical breakdown inside the engine, not just about the smoke. Because what I realize is most times when you open up this engine, you find that the cylinders are intact. The engine is not vibrating. It's not, the rings are okay, the pistons are okay, the cylinder walls are okay. So some will eventually wear out though. So if I were you, the advice is this: before you give up on your engine, I would suggest you, first of all, um, make an attempt. Make an attempt. It's what I would do. Okay, I'm just telling you exactly what I would do if I wake up tomorrow. Started to observe that one of my engines is started to show sign of weakness. I'm not going to start worrying about buying another engine. No. What I'll start doing is to start gathering parts, or start gathering, or start preparing myself financially to rebuild the engine. That's what I'll do. It might not be a full engine rebuild, which of course will cost more. But like the thing is, if you catch it on time, you realize that you probably might only spend just little. For example, you realize engine is smoky, kind of making one sound you don't like. Maybe it hasn't gotten to the stage of noise, or you noticing loss of power. If you open up your engine, could be that your bearings are okay, your cylinder walls are okay. I mean, you'll be surprised what will happen when you change only the valve sensors. Let me tell you guys a story. I know I did a video on this time, but I'll just rewind it. A 307 with an EW10J4 engine. Engine came, the car came, there was a noise on the cylinder head. Um, I recommended changing of the cylinder head. That was the first discussion I had with the owner of the car. Even before I took delivery of the car, I told the person, since you are, mm, no, I think it was after I took delivery of the car that he mentioned about the noise. I wish I drove the car and heard that noise. I confirmed to the owner that it was coming from the cylinder head. So I pointed out that you are likely going to change that cylinder head. Which in my case, which to me makes sense than replacing the entire, is to me, I consider it as an engine rebuild. Yeah, the cylinder head can be filled, but then, you wouldn't know most times where the noise coming from. You might change every part. I was like, get another cylinder head. But when the cylinder head came down, there was this discussion, even the people I work with, they're like, wouldn't it make sense? Not necessarily the people I work with, it was the past sellers. Let me just put it this way. That's why sometimes when I stick to my gun, it look like I'm being too rigid, you know, because I'm always like to start from the list. Yeah, it might end up being wasteful venture, but start from the list. I can live with that. My own cars, I will do that. The other people cars, sometimes, some people don't have that understanding. So you might tell them, say, oh, you just wasted my money. If I know, you would have mentioned, go straight and tell me, let's start from the number one, the most, the topmost. We are the one that will cost you the most than the one that will cost you the least in terms of elimination. So the seller were like, oh, if you buy this cylinder here, sometimes it might become it might not match, this engine will start having its own issue, this and that. So I was like, this one you are saying this means you are not going to give me that warranty that I need. And the owner was also pointing out that wouldn't it have been better to go for the cylinder head? So we eventually ended up convincing him to get the engine, another engine. So we got another engine. First day, no problem. Second day, no problem. The third day became noise. The engine became noise. It was obvious it was one of the bearings, either one of the. It was just from the bottom part of the engine became noise. Nothing like strange took place during the engine replacement, or I mean the correct oil, everything just became noise. So to end cut the story short, we sent the cylinder head, put another one. Engine that was not smoking before started smoking, as in badly. Even before I put the cylinder head, because we had to bring back the old engine block. The old cylinder head, what I did was I had it, what's it called, it blinded and everything. I told the owner to still go back with it because it's not yet that bad. But for that noise to go, let's not go back to that cylinder head for now. So I mounted the foreign use cylinder head that I got on the old bottom part of the engine, which is the engine block, that one. The car started smoking. The car never smoked, even when it came with that noise on cylinder head. Even when we put this used uh, engine, the full used engine, that's the engine. We didn't get it with accessory. I want to say, well, even when we put the engine, the foreign used engine we purchased, which we know as Tokumbo in Nigeria, no smoke from the exhaust. And as soon as we put the cylinder head I got, which also was Tokumbo, on the old engine block that showed the pistons, the rings, and the cylinder walls were intact, the car started smoking. Smoking so badly that I was concerned, because I was like, is it that the rings all of a sudden broke, even though it was intact before we mounted the cylinder head, the purchase cylinder? How come the engine just started smoking? It was so smoky that I was wondering, how would a valve sense be this bad? So guess what I did? I called the owner of the car and said, uh, I'm going to recommend remove the cylinder head again and change the valve sense. This was a Tokumbo cylinder head though, it's not like Nigerian use. So I was going down, recommend we remove it and change the valve senses. Which if I know, would have changed it before we mounted it, which was very cheap. So we did, we removed it, mounted, changed the valve sensors, changed it on even the old cylinder head that was noisy. Started the car. Um, of course, it was noisy. No, it was smoky. Yeah, so fine. I knew because the old oil has entered the exhaust, because that smoke most time means oil has come to most time pass through the combustion chamber, enter into the exhaust and settle there. So I knew it was going to take a while for the entire oil of the exhaust to burn out, including the one that will be trapped like on the catalyst, or those exhaust mufflers. So I took the car for a drive. It was really smoky, but this time I had a confidence, because even when we removed the cylinder head to go and put the valve stem cells, check the pacing. I mean, it was so tight. You can see when your rings are weak, you can tell there's no need for Even most, I don't need to remove it completely to find out. The way the pieces will be shaking inside the cylinder walls or your sleeves or your piston liners will tell you how the condition of your rings are. These ones were so tight that it wouldn't even make any move. Check the cylinder wall, as in there was no sign of anywhere. In fact, there was no difference between where the piston stop and where it goes down as it's going up and down. So it was intact. So when I put back the cylinder head with the valve stem seals replaced, so I knew for a fact that it was going to stop eventually. Because I mean, what else could make the engine oil to keep going to the cylinder or combustion chamber, if not from the seals, no, from the valve stem seals or from the piston. So I wasn't bothered anymore. And this is naturally aspirated engine anyway. It's not like it's a forced induction engine like turbocharger that can throw in oil into the catalyst directly or pass oil uh, from uh, intercooler to the motorized throttle body, that intake manifold, and then so I took it at a drive. Later I entered the expressway, like 5 kilometers into the drive, the smoke vanished. Now imagine if this engine, maybe the user, this was an engine stop, because it means this issue probably happened before they scrapped that engine, most likely. Or maybe the valve stem seals fails while the engine was waiting for somebody to purchase. Now imagine if it started happening in your own car, then you see that kind of big smoke. Of course, the first thing you will feel like, you condemn the engine because it's very, very smoky, smoking, this and that, your rings have failed. All we needed to do was change the valve sensors, which cost less than 10,000. 10,000 naira. Pay the technician that changed the cells. How was it? There's another case of EW10A engine in 407. The person had a 407 with EW10 2.0 liter engine, that EW10A. Engine was smoking. So when he came, I was like, okay, let's start from the list. So let's change the valve stem. So we change the valve stem so it stopped smoking. So the reason why I'm telling you all this, for you guys to understand. See, is I'm not just telling you this is what I've experienced personally. It's not what I had or what I read. This is what I have personally experienced. So it's high time we start to go back to how it was in the 70s, 80s, and early 90s, where uh, men before us, we are not replacing engines but rebuilding their engines, and was serving them. Yeah, I know the quality of powers may not be that good just in Nigeria, but if we serve you long enough, ah, I'm not saying, okay, there are cases where you could say no, outright replacement is the best option. Like the engine is like there, it has gone beyond the rings, beyond the bearings, beyond the valve sensors. Yeah, in that case, yeah, it could make sense. But I would say make the attempt, at least open up your engine, see how things are. From there, you know, okay, no, it doesn't make sense anymore. Let me get another engine. Yeah, that's the other engine you are buying. What makes you think it's in that? Yeah, out of 10 engines model, let's assume it's EW10J4 engine. You enter a store and you have about 10 of them lying there. Out of the 10, probably only one is in a better condition than the rest, or better than your current one. It could also be up to 9 of them are in better condition than your current one. My point is, a used engine is not a new engine. That's what most Nigerians think, especially in Nigeria or African countries. When they are buying a foreign used engine, maybe engines used in Europe, or they assume that like, some people don't even abuse cars. They do. You have car abusers even in Europe or North America or USA, Canada or wherever. People do abuse cars too. Not everybody keep car in good condition or maintain them religiously like the rest. Like some of these cars you see, like we purchase at Tokumbo, you'll be wondering whether it was the same human being that used this car, like you. I mean, but because of how good the vehicle will be in shape after like 10, 20 years of usage. Some people actually 5 years over there, the engines are in a mess and the other components. So those are the ones that most times they end up scrapping, sending those weak engines, you buy at high price of them. So engines can be rebuilt. Can they last like a good fully used engine or Nigeria used engine that was properly maintained? Probably might not because of maybe of the low quality of parts used in rebuilding it. If you could serve me 5 years before it gets that bad again, hey, it's pride. Like I said, this was what our fathers were doing in the past. So it's not like this is a new thing that we are recommending. No, it's not new. That's how they were able to still hold us together, train us through schools or whatever, pass it and be able to manage their families, manage the resources they have. Before now, a few years ago, it was cheaper to just remove and put another without rebuilding. Or sometimes, apparently, it was that cheap. But now it's no longer to replace engine, to buy another engine. So make use of your logic if you're a man. Not talking about women because probably they won't want to marry, they will rather the easiest option, remove and put another one. But if you're a technician, you know the risk involved. Because you could buy another engine less than a week or a week after. Most times the issue may come up 7 days, depending on how the agreement you have with the seller, engine seller. Most times they give you only 5 or 7 days, the warranty. Once it expires, if anything happens again, you're on your own. But then the person you purchase the engine from will not understand. Personally, these days, I would prefer if you want to change engine, I would rather you even buy it yourself. I will honestly, even though I know, yes, if I buy the engine from you, for you, I'll buy it at a higher price because of some of the responsibility involved in doing that. I'll buy it at higher price than the market price. Because if it has a problem within that warranty stage, I will have to return the engine. The cost of doing all those things on me, not you. So that responsibility comes at a high cost as well. So, but these days, I'm even willing to let go of that, whatever money I'll make out of buying the engine. So buy it yourself. Because if there's any problem with the engine, hey, come and take your headache. You know. In fact, if I'm removing the engine for you to send that, you have to pay additional labor. Hey, because hey, it's not a problem, it's a problem. You bought this thing. I can't remove engine 2 times for you at the same rate or price we agreed on with the before we mounted the engine. Because our discussion was only you're doing it once, remove one, put another. That's the end. So if I'm going to do it 2 or 3 times, hey, it's your work. You made that choice. If I was the one, if you give me the money to buy the engine for you, I'll charge you more than the market price. But I also factor in that I might have to remove the engine more than once. So if the people I work with, of course, I have to take care of that financially as well. So that's my advice. Don't give up on your engine yet. What I will say is don't go and wreck your engine because I'm recommending rebuild your engine whenever it's weak. Because if you wreck it, you get a point. Rebuilding will no longer make sense. Because if you get to a point where you have to change your crankshaft, you have to change your block, you have to change your camshaft, you have to change your oil pump, you have to change. That's if you just get to the point of changing everything in the engine, that because of that will buy you another engine or another vehicle. You will surpass buying another used engine. If I mean, it comes to buying all these things I mentioned, come on, you're no longer talking about 300, 500,000. You're talking about that's if you're buying genuine parts, new genuine parts. Wow, yeah, millions. So, so it will be cheaper for you when you do it before you get to a stage. Once you notice your car is started shorting oil and you're not seeing leakage, yeah, consider you might start if you don't have the money to do a complete review. Pull out your cylinder head, check the condition of your cylinders, pistons, the rings. You can tell from there if they are very a little bit weak. If you don't notice anything, change the valve sensors. If they are weak, then pull the pistons. Most times it's better to drop the engine down completely than doing it while the engine block is still on the vehicle. Pull it down, change the rings, put it back. If you notice see any piston that is already weak, we can easily tell the pistons the condition most time when you remove the ring. Or before you even remove the ring, you can see if the rings are on that space where they are on the pistons. If they are already dancing around there, it means it might be time to change those pistons. Because it's not just about the wall of the piston. I'm talking about even those lines where the rings are placed. So those lines can actually wear out so that when you put the rings, instead of them to stay tight as the engine is moving, the pistons are going up and down inside the cylinder wall. That's top dead center, bottom dead center. As it's doing that, um, if those holes have widened, you won't be able to say because the rings will also be dangling as well as it's going up and doing those things. So the dangling and so oil will still be seeping through and wear it out faster. So, okay, so I'm not going to take any question today because just got back from work, almost 9 to 9 p.m. So, I'm going to stop this live stream now. See, um, I have other ideas I want to share. I'll try. Right now, I'm kind of busy for the past 3 weekends. So I wish I can have time on Saturdays to be doing this so that people can actually send message, post the chat, I will respond to them. Okay, so that's how it will be. So just give you my own this thing. Um, we'll see. So hope this video helps. All right, thank you.